guys, welcome back to another episode of 12-inch Figure Fanatic. Remember to subscribe. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing and review of the freshly released Hot Toys Wednesday. This is Wednesday Addams from the hit Netflix show. I have to admit, I've been a pretty big fan of the show myself, even though she's visibly aged over the course of just the few episodes that there have been. We're also going to be doing a side-by-side with a custom Wednesday that I've had for a while, and a special surprise to show with it. Let's take a closer look. So the box is decorated better than some boxes I've opened lately. It's got the logo on the front with the iconic window and a silhouette of her with her umbrella. Got her uniform stripes along the entire sides of the box. And observation window here to see what the figure looks like ahead of time. That never does anything for me because they put so many layers of protection, plastic, and plastic sheets on top of the head sculpt. You can't really tell what's going on. I was impressed when I saw that they released this figure because it comes with quite a bit of accessories, more so than usual with a Hot Toys figure. Okay, so fantastic figure. I'm noticing that the height is shorter than the average female figure, which is good because she's supposed to be an adolescent, even though she's a full-fledged adult by the more recent episodes. The braid work is fantastic. My goodness. It is, oh, is it plastic? Yeah, so it's plastic, it's pliable, but it looks like it's actually braided from stitched hair. Fantastic job on that. Even on the head sculpt itself, the hair sculpting is appropriate, including the detailing on the bangs. Does it have some flexibility there? Yeah, so there's some flexibility in those strands on the bangs, so you don't have to worry about too much breakage. Yeah, good flexibility there. She's wearing her iconic lifted shoes, the Hot Topic variety, or goth, or emo, whatever you want to call them. There's appropriate folding in the dress, and her nails are painted black. Good detailing there. She's got the sweater vest underneath, and you got some lining on the inside. Good detailing there. She's got her tie on. It's all very crisp. You know, if we look back in the old days of them making figures with collared shirts, they just kind of they're thick. They pop. They don't press down appropriately. But we've got a good cover on choice of materials these days, especially with Hot Toys. They select their materials very carefully, hopefully, so that they don't fray over time. I think the last figure from Hot Toys that frayed was one of my what is his name, Star-Lord from the Marvel series, and I was kind of disappointed in that because that's a pretty new figure. She's got some tights on underneath. It goes all the way up. Good posability, and it holds. The sculpt itself, excellent likeness. I'd have to say better than the actual concept photos. I don't know, it's going to be a pretty good running with the head sculpt on my custom that I've had. But very good overall. You do have some exposure of the interior pattern or lining on the outside, so that's kind of reckless in the stitching, but it is in the back. It doesn't show on the front like that. So very good overall. She's got her logo there, and it's not just a sticker. It's a kind of a iron-on pressed image. Very good overall. Let's see what else we got here. So we've got her book bag. backpack, and it's got straps on it, and you got some metal pieces here on the buckles, and I'm sure it opens, but I wouldn't want to mess with these buckles. And it's leather-like, got a nice sheen to it, so good detailing on that. We have our cello, and it's got actual strings, hollow, and then you've got the stand underneath that is plastic, but it looks metallic. And this bow, and I'd say the string is slightly too thick, but appropriate, and the whole thing is made of plastic. And there's some slight warping there, but that's okay. Very nice. A old school style chair. And all the way around, it's got good sculpt to it. And that is 100% plastic there as well. Book of spells with some pages in there. Oh, full pages. They didn't mess around here. So the writing on the inside is just repeated on every single page. That's fine though. It's impressive. And indication of like a hardcover, hardbound. Very nice. And this contraption here, and then it opens up like this, and looks like this goes inside. This is the, I forget what this is, some kind of magical orb. I forget, this is from the show. And it's got some purple tint to it, so it looks like there's some smokiness in there. And that just goes in there like that. Close that up. Not bad. Now, if this glows in the show, it'd be nice if it glowed. Doesn't look like it would. But I know in art, I think it was in art, for the Harry Potter figure, they had a small lantern, and it was like probably the smallest LED I've seen with an accessory for a 1/6 scale figure. And it did glow because of that feature. So it's possible, I know that you could pull it off. But nice overall. Then you got this meter thing. I forget what it is. But it looks like it detects the location of something. Kind of reminds me of the meter from Aliens, where they were trying to find out where they were located. And it's got a plastic, clear plastic window in there. And then you've got 3 versions of the thing. One is a snapping version. One is just kind of the standing version, this iconic, typical pose. And then the other one, which is a thumbs up. A few different hand choices to go with her. This very large plastic umbrella, and it's got the wireframe on underneath there. That's nice. Now, could they have made an actual umbrella that could open and close? Yes, because I've seen that done with the penguin figure, but it's decent enough. And this part is made of it seems like metal. So it doesn't have a lot of flex to it, which is good, because if it was plastic, I could see if it's displayed that it would bend over time from the weight of the top of the umbrella. So nicely done. And then we've got her display base. And it says Wednesday on the front with the nice font. And this just kind of goes in there like that. Bingo. Now, a lot of figures that come with bases these days, they're starting to do the magnetic base and the magnets on the bottom of the feet, which I think is more appropriate than having this ugly thing stick out. I wish they would have done that on this. And you could, of course, modify the figure and go the extra mile to do it yourself with a little extra work. It's got the brickwork here. It's not sculpted. It's imprinted on here, but it looks nice. Anything else in here? Yeah, you got this magnetic thing here, and I don't know what that is. It looks like some kind of like crystal thing. I'll read the instructions. And then got some extra buttons in case the buttons on her fall off. Some extra pegs, typical with all figures. And then you got the tool to change or move around the rolling eyeballs. All right, so let's set this figure up and do a side-by-side with my custom, and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so here she is set up, and boy, does it look fantastic. Now, the base is a little small, so the cello can't rest on the ground because it extends past the base. As you can see, I got the chair all the way to the edge here. And there is some slight padding on the bottom of the chair as well to help grip onto the surface, which is nice. One thing I noticed from looking at the instructions is that there's a wireframe in the outside lining of the jacket. So it has some posability to it. That's pretty nice. That little plastic piece is this right here. So that all three of the thing is magnetic, and the way they did this, since the magnet wouldn't be able to extend to the magnet on the shoulder from the bottom of the hand here, is they just kind of have this clear piece to extend the magnet, which I guess, you know, they had to do that, and to the best of their ability they made it look concealed, but you can tell. But it still looks fantastic. Just unbelievable. Really, I am impressed by this figure. Now let's look at my custom. So I have it here with this Gothic diorama, and it's her old school outfit from the first run of the show, the first season, and she does look a little bit younger and more pale, but the detailing is fantastic on this sculpt. It's even got some freckling there, and it has the stitched pigtails, which is a nice touch. So that's pretty good. Now, one thing that my custom has that Hot Toys didn't bother with is a stand for the music. In most of the imagery you see with her cello, she does have a stand. It kind of completes the look. So I wish they would have included that. She also has the different style of shoes. They are lifted still, but they're the patent leather belt buckle shoes that she wore in the first season as well. So that's pretty nice. But to complete the look on my figure, I had it displayed with this. Oops. So technically, this is the Uncle Fester from the film, played by Christopher Lloyd, and so it's not consistent with the show, but look at that figure with the glowing light bulb. And this was a small batch figure that I got a while back. Likeness is excellent. So it's hard to say, you know, some collectors might say, well, you know, you have the first season version, you have the later season version, and I think I'd keep both, right? but I'm not that kind of guy. So I'm going to have to decide which one, A or B, A or B, and I think it's going to be B. And I'm going to put the other one on eBay, get rid of that one. Satisfy the wife once again. Anyways, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this figure a, I'm going to give this one a 9.9. I'm only taking off that little bit because I wish it was magnetic, because, you know, in addition, you know, you have this pothole here that if they had to keep a stand, which Hot Toys always does, they don't do the magnets, they could have at least given you a cap so that you could fill that gap in there from the stand. So luckily, if I have her displayed like this, it's kind of concealed by everything going on top of it, but still would have been nice. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you next time.